We are going to cover up the topic that is safety equipment, and the safety equipment we are going to cover up the basic, the main safety equipment that has given the remarkable results. It has came under the safety regulation also, because whenever you drive a vehicle also in a city, there are regulations to use seat belts. So it is a remarkable thing, and it used to come under the passive safety. And passive safety, you know that there are two types of safety. One is the external, for saving the external pedestrian or bicycle person, and the second safety is the internal one. So it used to come under the passive, and that too in the internal category for saving the occupant. So starting with the what seat belt is. So I have downloaded one video also, that there is one cartoon also, that in simple word it used to show that whether to buckle or whether not to buckle. So that is being shown. If the buckle is there, the 3-point safety belt is working, then the person is okay, and this one is the accident has occurred, and this is being shown the severe head injury. Now the what a seat belt is. The seat belt sometimes called as safety belt. There are the synonyms for the seat belts. Designed to secure the occupant of a vehicle against harmful movement, because during the accident the body used to move. This can be shown to you through the dummies which are used for testing the vehicle, and their movements is used to study that what actually happened in that collision. So the movement is being shown. The movement is both means in the direction of the collision also, and the rebound movement is also there. So it is used to prevent that movement which used to occur during the collision of the body. So without seat belt, they are showing that what will happen. Or even though the car is having the airbag, but it is of no use because this much movement of the body is to be prevented. So that's what they have written. And sudden stop or sudden stop. And there are 3 types of impact also, because when accident used to take place, there are 3 types of impact. The overall automobile, as a part of overall automobile passive safety system, seat belts are intended to reduce the injury by stopping wearer from hitting the hard interior elements, because the cabin of the vehicle or the steering or other things are there. The body can hit that, or sometimes can go out. So this is what we call the first one. This is the first collision. Second is the body rebound and collide with the passenger. That is why it is called second collision. So there are 3 types of collision which are shown, which are written over here. The first I have written that the first one is element of the vehicle. Second collision is the passenger. So first and second collision are given. How the body used to collide by rebound with the second passenger is being shown over here. In this, they are using the airbag and not using a seat belt, and they are showing that although the body has collided, has crashed into the windshield also, you can see the cracks have occurred. This is the movement of the body. This is called the first collision. This is called the first impact with the interiors of the vehicle, steering and the other thing. And second is that both of them rebound and collide, means passenger collide among themselves. Now see, the passenger are colliding among themselves. They are collided. So this what they are saying, that when they are colliding, this is called the second impact. This one is called the second impact. This is what they are saying, the second impact. And prevent passenger from being thrown out. So this is the main thing, that the driver or the passenger should be intact in the vehicle itself, safely secured. So it is a remarkable discovery. And seat belt absorb energy by being designed to stretch during an impact. This time we are having the pre-tensioned seat belt, so that's why in your syllabus also, the important thing they have written that we have to cover up the all seat belt tightener system, means these tightener system we have to cover up. So we will cover up these types of tightener system. That's why they have written over here. You can see that they have written that absorb energy by stretch. The stretch is done by the tightening system. So there is less speed differential and between the body and their vehicle interior to spread, and also to spread the load of impact on passenger body. The pre-tensioner was introduced in 1950 in a device designed to make seatbelt even more effective by removing the slack. The slack is removed by the pre-tensioner mechanism. You can see that how the pre-tensioner mechanism used to work, how the slack is removed. This is done in the fraction of second the collision used to take place. So this is how it is being shown, and as soon as the collision takes place, the system is being shown over here. The collision has taken place. This used to move in the opposite direction. So that's why used to use pretension. Now in new vehicle, what has happened that after pretension, a force limiter is also used. That is a different thing, because this is a new feature which we have introduced to work in coordination with the airbag. So this is a different thing. Pretension we will cover up because it is in your syllabus also, because belt tensioner are to be covered, and during collision belt tensioner retracts seat belts against its pull. Means if the pull is in the forward direction, it will retract the body. You can see in the video also it is being shown that it used to retract. It used to retract. This is the force limiter. Now here you can see. For the video you can see the pretension used to retract the body. So this is what it used to do, and it is being shown over here. This is how it is retracted. So opposite direction, and the time it is taking is 13 milliseconds. Very less second it is taking to pretension the belt in the chance of collision, and is tension until the counter force acting on the seat belt is greater than the force of pretension, because unless the body is moving in the forward direction, it will work, and as soon as the body will rebound, it will limit the tension. So how this mechanism used to work? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types of pretensioners are there. We will cover up one by one all of these. The 5 types of cover. What the mechanism is there? First is the ball belt tensioner, rotary belt tensioner, rack and pinion belt tensioner, cable pull belt tensioner, and band belt tensioner. So these types of tensioner are there, and the seat belt itself, there is a certain history of the seat belts also. So we will go through by image that what the history of the seat belt is and how it is started. So it was started by the Volvo in 1957. You should know. We'll cover up with the lap belt. We'll cover up in the PPT also. The PPT is shown over here. And the pretensioner was introduced in 1950. It is a device. This is how I showed you. And this is the image of the pretensioner. There are 3 types of impact. I have shown to you the earlier also. There are 3 types of impact. The third one we have to discuss. The first one was the body colliding with the vehicle itself, hard interior. Second is the passenger among themselves are colliding. And the third is the final impact, is the body hit car interior, airbag or seat belt in that of internal organs. Means hitting of internal organs takes place. So this is what the call is the third impact. The force of this impact is the mechanism through which car crash cause disabling or life-threatening injury. So a sequence of things are used, because during an accident a sequence of things are working. Dissipating speed reducing technology like crumble zone. Car used to have a crumble zone in the front. So this zone used to collapse and absorb the energy. Seat zones, seat belts, airbag, padded interior, soft interior should be there. Otherwise, if certain collision of the head will take place, that can absorb the energy also. Designed to work together means not only the seat belt, all things used to work in the coordination. So what the types of seat belts are there? There are 3 types of seat belt. One is the lap belt. Although the first 2 were the initial generations of the seat belt, but now these days both the generations are replaced by the third one, that is called 3-point seat belt. But as a curriculum, as a syllabus, we will cover up all the 3, even though the first 2 are no longer used because of the safety features, and this is more and more popular these days. The lap belt. As a lap, you know that our 2 legs are there. The adjustable strap that goes over the waist. Used frequently in older car. I have told you that these are not used these days. Now uncommon except in rear middle seats. In the rear middle seats also it is not common. In the theory it is written. The passenger air seats also use lap belt to prevent injury. The aircraft also use these types of seat belts. And the seat belt, how it used to look like. One video I have downloaded for the 2-point seat belt, and how it used to look like. There is a 2-point seat belt. It is being shown over here. and it is for the lap only. That's why it is called 2-point seat belt or lap seat belt. So how it is being working, the measurement is being shown over here, and these are the two straps. These are to be connected and used to go in front of the waist. Means the lower portion of the body it used to go through. So this is how it used to work, and this is how they are showing the figure. And because this time we are using the 3-point seat belt, it is a combination of the 2-point seat belt, that is the lap belt which is being shown over here, and the sash belt, because combination of lap, if you combine lap, L for lap plus S for sash, both are combined, L or S, you will get the third one, that is the 3-point seat belt you will get. So we are coming to the second one. This is our first one, lap. I have shown you the video. The second one is the sash, also called a sash. The shoulder belt is another 2-point safety belt. So shoulder it used to work. This is a sash. It is being shown over here. This is also 2-point. 2 points are there, and this is also not used these days. The adjustable strap goes over the shoulder, used mainly in 1960s, but of limited benefit because it is very easy to slip out of, because the body used to come out of this belt. The intention of belt design was to restrain upper part body, and sort of injury happening in the crashes where the rider wore only a lap belt. It's only work well in conjunction with lap belt, means lap and both should be there. That's why they now these days to have the safety regulations have combined the two, and that's why 3-point seat belts are used. Because of it's rare to find these types of belts in car anymore. Although in your syllabus it is being given, but these types of seat belts are also rare to find. Now we are coming to the third, that is the 3-point seat belt. This is very common, and we are going to cover up. This is the 3-point seat belt which is being shown over here. In the 3-point seat belt, first point is this: the buckle which is used. One is the supporting point, third one, and this is the tensioner point. So this is being shown over here, and this another image is there. You can see the 3 points clearly, 1, 2, and a third point you can see. This is the third point, and 3-point seat belt is third we are covering. Similar to the lap and shoulder belt, because it is a combination of the both, but only single continuous length of webbing, means both are combined and single length of belt is used, means the webbing is single. 3-point seat belt is Y-shaped. You can see the shape is like Y, containing a lap belt and a sash, means lap and sash, both are combined together. Lap and the second one is the lap and second one is the sash, both are combined together, and it becomes the 3-point seat belt. Both 3-point and lap sash belts help spread out the energy of moving body in collision over chest, pelvis, the lower portion, and the shoulder. Volvo introduced, this is the important thing, that which company introduced. In 1959 it was introduced in Volvo PV544, and it was delivered. This is the history, and this is the important thing, that the date should be known, and the companies which introduced the 3-point safety belt should be known to us. The 3-point safety belt was developed by Nils Bohlin, who earlier had worked on ejection seats at Saab. Until the 80s, the 3-point seat belts were commonly available in front seats of the car. Now the back seats are also used. Evidence of potential for lap belt to cause separation of lemur vertebrae, because lap can cause lemur vertebrae, because in that lap what used to happen, only this lower portion is tightened, upper portion can easily move, so the vertebrae can get damaged, because the lemur vertebrae is the part of the backbone, so this can get damaged or can break also. So that's why that lap belt was not used alone. So in this, that's why the combination of two is popular, and the combination of two is called 3-point seat belt. In September 1, 2000, all cars sold in US require a lap and shoulder combined. Means lap and shoulder combined, that's called 3-point safety belt. The same topic of seat belt is continued over here, and in this you can see that what type of seat belts are there we have already covered in the previous lecture. The three types of seat belts, and recently we use 3-point seat belts these days. Main thing for the safety of the seat belt these days, the seat belt used to have a belt tightening system or retraining system is there that is required. So we will cover up the belt tightening system, that how it used to work, what the function is, and how it used to work in coordination with the airbag and what type of propellants are used in that. So we will cover up the basic mechanism of how the tightening system used to work. So starting with the seat belt tightening system, what the function of tightening system is. The function of seat belt is to restrain the occupant of a vehicle in their seat, because seat is the safest thing for the safety of the driver and the passenger. So they have to restrain in the seat itself, the occupants, when the vehicle hits an obstacle. In this way, to avoid three types of collisions, also I have told you that three types of collisions are to be avoided, and these are avoided. Seat belt tightener improves the restraining characteristics of 3-point inertia reel belt and increase the protection against injury. So seat belts, how the seat belt tightener used to improve this. For this, I would like to show you one video that how the seat belt tightener used to work, and I have downloaded one video. So you can see that these are the seat belt tightener. These are shown. These are available in the vehicle on this side. And what else is there? How used to work is being shown through a video. It is a good video. The working is being shown over here. So this is the airbag unit which is shown. Propellant is there in this airbag, and when it explodes, a lot of gas is generated. Similarly, the gas is generated in the restraint mechanism also, and this gas generates a pressure, rotate the reel on which belt is wrapped up, and restrain the belt. So you can see that how it used to work. For this, a capacitor is used. It used to have a small amount of charge, and under the collision, when it gets signal from the ECU system or collision system, the final signal, it used to give the current, a small spark it used to give, both to the seat belt tensioner and the passenger seat belt tensioner. So you can see that how it is giving the spark, the current is being given, and this used to ignite. This small spark used to give ignition. You can see the ignition is there, and by the means of ignition, the gas will be generated, and this gas, see the gas, you can see the gas. This gas will move the piston, and this rack and pinion mechanism will rotate and tighten the belt in milliseconds by a certain length, whether it is 100 mm length or 120 mm or 130, 150, whatever the manufacturer used to give. So that much length is being retracted and the belt is tightened. So I would here you can see that in the event of front impact, they pull the seat belt, tighten against the body, and thus hold the upper body as closely as possible against the seat backrest. And this excessive displacement by the occupant is eliminated. You can see how this used to happen, how the belt used to retract. This is the mechanism. The gas has ignited, and after the ignition, the gas has generated, piston moved, and this much retraction has caused the rotation. By means of rotation, the belt used to get retract. The length is shown. I have told you it ranges from 100 mm to 150 mm, and this much length is retracted, and the belt has tightened. So, because of loose belt, there is a chances of colliding the body with the other parts, and now the body can safely rest on the airbag. So this is shown by the red signal. They have shown that if the body will move in front, then chances of accident, severe injury are there. This is the retractor motor they have shown. As soon as the explosion takes place, this will rotate and belt will retract. The direction will shown to you how the retraction. This is the retraction, means move in opposite direction. This is what the retraction is. See once again, this is how the retraction takes place. This is how the retraction, and this video also the retraction is being shown to you. This way the retraction used to takes place, means moving in this direction. The retraction used to takes place. This move in this direction, the 150 mm. So this is the main thing which is being shown, and this prevent the excessive displacement. Now moving ahead, the seat belt used to work in coordination with other parts, means first is the belt tightener. I have shown you in the another video also. The belt tightener location is being shown. I have shown you in the video also that it is located, the location, exact location at the seat is shown over here. This is the belt tightener, and 2-wire or 4-wire connection is there. There is a method also to check it. This is the coupler of the belt tightener igniter. You can see over here. And it is one time usable because after the explosion of the gas, the complete assembly is to be removed. The complete assembly is shown also because he will take out for testing if he had taken out. The complete assembly is, you can see the complete assembly in the initial part of the video. This is the complete assembly, this part and this support and these 2 wires. So this is the complete assembly is, and so this is the first part, that is a belt tightener. Second is a front air bag for passenger. This one is the front air bag which is being shown. This is the air bag on which the head has rested safely, the head of the passenger. The third one is the front airbag for driver. This is being shown, the driver airbag. And fourth is the ECU, which used to give the signal both to the propellant of airbag first and propellant of belt tensioner also. So ECU has to decide. ECU is the safety system is required for under collision. A collision dedicated control unit is there which used to communicate with the ECU, and then ECU used to give the signal. The fraction of second is required. Operating concept: in frontal impact with a solid obstacle at a speed of 50 km/h, means the vehicle is going at 50 km/h and it has collided with a solid obstacle. The seat belt must absorb an energy level of comparable of kinetic energy of a person in free fall from 4th floor of building. So they have given the analogy: if the person is falling from 4th floor, same force is there, the same impact is there when a body, when a car at 50 km collide with a means a solid obstacle. And because of belt slack, if certain looseness is there, slack means loose, so we have to tighten it, because all time we will tighten the belt, that will cause a ergonomic consideration to the driver also, and he will get tired. So in the millisecond you have to tighten. The belt stretch and delayed effect of the belt retractor. 3-point inertia reel belt provide only limited protection in front impact with solid obstacle at a speed of 40 km/h, because they can no longer safely prevent head and body from impacting. So that's why up to this speed it will work, but if the speed above this, then retractive system is compulsory required. So that is required. An occupant experience excessive forward displacement without restraint system, because whenever accident used to take place, whenever there is an accident, then the passenger used to have excessive forward displacement. You can see the excessive forward displacement which is being shown over here during the accident. This is what the excessive forward displacement is there, and this way the excessive forward displacement is used to take place. So that is to be restrained, the forward displacement, so that head safely get into the airbag. So a coordination is required, and in this way the seat belts are with restraint systems are compulsory when the vehicle speed is very much high, means above 40 km. And what is the sequence? because when the vehicle is going on at a very high speed and impact takes place, the sequence is first is the impact, that is the main thing. After impact, all these three things will start. First is the impact itself. After impact, the firing of belt tightener and airbag come into role, and in millisecond the belt used to restrain and airbag used to inflate. Means in the blinking time which is required for a blinking of eyes, belt get tightened first and then the airbag used to inflate with or without restraint system, because restraint system means the restraint system are there or not. In an impact, the shoulder belt tightener compensates for belt slack and film reel effect by tightening the belt strap, because retracting system is required at a speed of 50 km per hour. This system achieves its full effect within 20 milliseconds. That time is important, and thus support the airbag, which required 40 milliseconds. That's why the sequence they have given. First is the belt tighten, that is 20 milliseconds, and followed by it the airbag, that is 40 milliseconds. So the sequence is important. That's why third number is the belt and fourth number is the airbag inflation. The occupant continues to move forward until making contact with de-inflating bag, because the de-inflation of bag is required, and in this manner protect from injury. Because airbag also I will cover, then de-inflation of bag is required, because if bag get inflated fully, then by suffocation itself the passenger will die. So de-inflation of bag is also important. The sequence you should know: first is the impact, firing, belt tightener and airbag. This sequence should be known to you. Now coming to the next, a prerequisite to optimum protection is that occupant forward movement away from their seat remain minimal as they de-accelerate along the vehicle, because forward movement is required to be minimal. This is to be reduced. I have shown you in the video also. This is achieved by triggering the belt tightener, and the length I have shown you, that 1 centimeter in 5 to 10 milliseconds. A very good video I have shown you for this, for the belt tensioner. And the forward movement is also restrained. It is being shown that it has restrained the forward movement, and the length is also shown, 1 centimeter to 1.5 means 100 mm to 150 mm. This way the forward movement is restrained. This is being shown over here. And on activation, a pyrotechnical propellant, because the technical name is used, these are explosive things, so that's why the pyro term is used. And technical propellant, because same thing is used in the airbags also, but it used to generate nitrogen in airbag, whereas in this the gas is a different gas is used, is electrically fired. I have told you in the video also, the firing is electrical by means of a capacitor. So it was shown to you in the initial video. I have shown you that the firing is electrical. A small spark used to start each and everything. The electrical firing is there, and the explosive acts with turn with seat belt tilt in such a way that belt rests tightly against the body. Means belt used to tighten on the body. So this is the main thing. And the classification of belt tightener should be known to you, because it will be available in my lecture only, because on else if you search on the Google also you won't get that much classification. The belt tightener classification are that whether the belt tightener is of ball and belt type, whether the mechanism is rotary belt, rack and pinion. The video I have one downloaded for this. The one video which we have shown, which was shown to you, was of the rack and pinion itself. In this, the rack was there and a pinion was there. A pinion and the rack mechanism was there. And after the ignition, what used to happen, that the gas used to explode, and rack used to move, and pinion used to rotate. So this mechanism is there. We will come to how it used to work. And cable pull tensioner is also there, because sometimes the cable pull tensioner is also used. So we will cover up one by one. First is the ball tensioner. These are the balls which are used, and the ball belt tensioner consists of compact unit which also include belt force limiter, because force limiter is a thing which should be used, otherwise the passenger will get excessive force on his chest when the belt will get tightened. So these days force limiter is also used. Some simple mechanism of force limiter is that Some stitches are provided on the belt itself. After certain level of force, those stitches used to get open. This is the cheapest method. And after opening the stitches, the tension used to get relieved. So this method is also used, but belt force limiter is not in our syllabus. This type of belt tensioner is used on the front and rear seats, both they are used. And the mechanism you can see, this is the propellant. As the propellant gives the gas, the ball used to move. And when the ball used to move, they rotate the gear. And with the gear, the belt is wrapped and belt used to retract. So the mechanism is being shown, the activation you can see. The gas propellant charge, the gas has generated and ball will move, and during the movement ball will move this gear. The belt tension is driven by a ball which are bearing mounted. In the event of collision, the airbag control units ignite the propellant charge, and they used to move a gear. You can see the ball used to move a gear and then used to get collected in the ball receiver. So in this way you can see it is a one-time usable thing. This much gas is generated, ball have moved, rotated the gear, and this gear has the belt reel, and belt reel means that retraction is obtained, means this type of retraction is obtained. You can see it will retract, retraction. This retraction you have obtained. Main thing is the retraction. Opposite direction movement you have obtained. So this is how the mechanism of this ball type is there. Second one is the rotary belt tensioner. In this, a rotary cam type rotor is there, rotary piston is there, and rotary piston used to rotate, and one by one the propellant used to get ignited. By the movement of the rotary piston, the belt used to retract. By the arrow you can see, this is the arrow, and belt used to retract. And when and how it used to start will be shown to you. So the mechanism will be shown to you that how it used to work. There are three ignition pellets. The first ignition pellet, the second ignition pellet, and the third ignition pellet. By means of rotation of this rotary piston, they used to get ignited. So first is ignited electrically. This is being shown that electrically by the capacitor is used to get ignited. The expanding gas causes the rotary piston to rotate. It will rotate, and during the rotation, as soon as it reaches over this place, the second ignition pellet will get ignited. Means after first, the second will ignite progressively, and later on the third will ignite in the third stage. So a complete rotation is obtained. By means of this rotation, the belt used to get retracted in this direction. So it used to work like this, and the mechanism you can read the function. The first ignition pellet is electrically ignited. The expanding gas causes the piston to create because gas is generated whenever the ignition is there, whether it is in the airbag or whether it is in the seat belt retractor. The seat belt rotary piston is connected to seat belt retractor. The seat belt begins to tighten. Once the certain angle of rotation is completed, the piston releases the transfer channel to second, means second will be ignited because this portion has rotated to this, second will be ignited. The combustion gas flowing from chamber 1 escapes through the exhaust. The exhaust it used to go, and the third used to get ignited. So this is how the mechanism of this used to work. Now we are coming to the third belt tightener, that is the rack and pinion. The video which I have shown you was on this itself, but the video was simple. The mechanism shown over here shows the complete detail. This is how it used to work. The rack and pinion is combined with seat belt retractor to create a unit and are used for driver and front passenger, means front two seats, driver as well as the front passenger. It is used, not for the rear passenger they have written. The signal from airbag control units ignites the propellant of the gas generator. You can see this is the gas generator. It will get ignited, and you can see the parts also. Main thing is the rack, and second thing is the pinion. The animated video was shown to you In the animated video, you see how the rack and pinion used to work. This is the rack and this is the pinion. Explosion will generate gas. This will move, and the rotation, final rotation, retraction will be opted. This is how it used to work. So this is being shown over here. The rack turns the gear 1 and 2 through pinion. Means there are 2 gears. First is the gear 1, the blue color you can see, and second one is the gear 2. This is the second gear is the main gear because it has a torsion shaft on it, and this used to give the final motion to the retraction of the belt. So complete working you can go through this PPT what I have written over here, what parts are there. So this is how it used to work, and the gear 2 connected to this is the main gear I have shown you. This has to be rotated finally because this gear will give the motion to this gear, and finally this gear will retract the belt. The belt will retract it. So this is being shown. There are balls in it. When this outer ring rotates, the roller are pushed until they meet between the outer ring and torsion shaft, and seat belt began to retract. So this is how the mechanism used to work. The last one is the cable pull belt tensioner, because in this the simple mechanism is there. One cable is there, and this cable is connected to a piston. As soon as the gas will be generated, the piston will move upward, rotate the retracting mechanism, and the belt will retract. So this is a simple mechanism. The cable is shown. The cable you can see, this is the cable, and it is later on winded on a you can see the figure, the winded on a friction disc. And as the cable will move upward, when the explosion takes place by means of gas, the piston will go up, cable will move up, and the disc will rotate, and belt will retract. So the complete theory is written over here, how this used to work. The parts are protective cap, tube in which gas is generated, piston which is being shown over here, the belt which is to be retracted, and the cable which is winded on the friction disc which has to be rotated finally. The cable pull belt tensioner are fitted on the driver and passenger seat belt seat. Ignition of gas generator produces gas. The gas generation is the main thing in all the system, which pushes the piston and the cable attached in upward direction. I have told you the piston will move upward, cable will move upward, and rotation will take place and retraction will happen. But this is how all the retraction system used to work. One more figure I have taken for the cable system, that how it used to work in this, because although these figures are there, but it can't be drawn in your examination. For examinations point of view, one figure I have downloaded. So this is how the figure used to work. The ignition cable is being shown. This is the ignition cable, and firing element. This is the firing element. The spark used to get generated. Here the gas will be generated. Piston will move. The propellant charge, third. Fourth is the piston which is being shown. The fourth one. This one is the piston. And as you see, as the piston will move upward, this cable will move, and this friction disc will move, and what will happen? The seventh one is the belt reel they have mentioned. It is a friction disc, and belt will retract. This is how it used to work. So we have come to the end of the belt safety system, because we have covered all the belt tensioners also. The classification of belt was explained to you previously, and what are the reasons that we have moved to the 3-belt system. The classification was already given to you. Combining the two, we get the third, that is the final 3-point. And hopefully this lecture will be useful for you. Thank you.